So the big question is this: how do small businesses like yours, who feel like you're doing all the right things and going to all the right events, reach the federal buyer in a way that helps you win more contracts? That is the question, and this is the place to get your answers. My name is Neil McDonnell. Welcome to the GovCon Chamber of Commerce. Okay, let's get started. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about the Government Accountability Office, GAO. I really want to point out how valuable it can be to any business, small business in particular, about learning government challenges that are being faced by various agencies, et cetera. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Right here, you'll see the GAO website. So it's gao.gov, GAO for Government Accountability Office, excuse me. And in here, you can do a lot of exploring. I'm not going to take my time in this video and go too far. What I want to do is just, get you interested in this and help you realize that you need to come in here and dig. So they've got a good site. You can browse through the menu system. You can browse through the topics that are down below. I will tell you this one here right away, the high-risk list of federal programs, that fascinates me a lot because of the larger small businesses that I work with. This really helps them as they try to support the government and understand the challenge. And sometimes when you read these things, you'll find out you know more about what's going on, frankly, than some of the government customers and even large businesses that you're dealing with. All you have to do is spend some time in here. Let's say an hour a day for a month and then 30 minutes a day after that, or 30 minutes or an hour a week, something. And maybe every day is not a big thing, but at least once a week, popping in, seeing what's going on. There's a lot of people out there that touch on bid and protest, so I won't talk about that. But I did want to start with construction, because yesterday I did a video and I wanted to show you something in Defense Acquisition University about construction. I couldn't find it, so in here, my first thing was I got to find construction stuff. And my point is in GAO, you can, if you're in the construction industry as well, because I tend to talk about IT services, professional services, but if you're in construction, you can come in here and get a lot of value. So one of the ones that I saw in here that I really liked as just something that caught my eye, and I would read more if I was in that field, is that the Army should assess progress in standardizing design for facility construction. And so if you're in that business, standing up new facilities, whether it's for disasters or new infrastructure for existing bases, you want to read this and see what's going on in here. As you come down, you'll see some similar ones. I don't want to dive too far into it, but one thing that you'll see a lot in here is bid protest decisions. So, if you're ever wondering about why am I winning, why am I not winning, take the time to read a couple of these, let's say 3 to 4, just to get your idea, just get a sense of what's out there related to bid protests. I don't want to dwell on it. I think people sometimes focus too much on protests and not enough time on truly writing an uncontestable winning proposal type thing. That's an opinion, right? Similar to everything else I say. Anyways, over on the left, you can filter these down. So if you only wanted to see stuff in a particular agency, you can click on that. I filtered this by saying, just show me what was here in the past year. When I first did this search, I was getting reports from 1951. So it's good to know that they have an archive, but I didn't really care that far back. So come in here and do a search on any topic you want. Again, I mentioned on the homepage, there was that high risk article. This thing, everybody should take a quick look at, see what's in here, see what's going on in the government, right? So they got an overview and I cruised down the overview. This part I really liked. So as I come in here and I see what they have, however, 5 areas have gotten worse. When you see this, you want to read it just so you're aware of what's going on out there, right? So for me, something that popped up is ensuring the nation's cybersecurity, which I'll talk about in a second. Strategic human capital management. This is people, right? And so if you're in the people business, training business, HR, et cetera, you want to be reading that area and seeing what they're saying. Here, assessing and controlling toxic chemicals. If you're in the chemical business, obviously, but if you're in the cleanup business, if you're in the IT business, that helps them manage the data on this. This is all something to take a look at and see if maybe there's something you can do to help EPA process data better. And then I like this, when I say I like, it just means it's a really good analysis or data grab as you look at it. But two areas that weren't in previous times that are coming up. And so you just want to check on this, right? The leadership's, HHS's ability to coordinate public health emergencies. I'm assuming this is coming right from the coronavirus challenges that came up, let's just say with CDC in particular, right? There was a lot of back and forth confusion. And I bet if I went in there and read that, that's what I'm seeing. But that's a big deal, right? How can you help? Now, some of it's a little hard, but anyways, so look at this. You got the full report. Down here, you see what's in there a little bit more detailed. Weapon systems acquisition is a big thing if you're in that business. Anyways, so again, I'm not going to go too far in this, but there's something for everybody. If you're selling to the federal government, you should be popping in and seeing, doing a quick review. And you can find this. I'll do another video dedicated to this particular one, but find out what's the high risk programs within the federal government. A couple other ones I had here. So here's a featured topic that I thought was interesting on duplication and cost savings, right? That's a huge deal to me as I work with a lot of companies who can help the government reduce costs through improved process, basically, right? Software or process improvement. So in here, as you're looking at this, you begin to see, like right here, IRS could save billions of dollars improving effort to prevent identity theft, refund frauds, right? Where can you sit? I'm supporting somebody right now with the Navy and strengthening their acquisition practices and ensuring ships can be efficiently sustained. It's funny, my nephew is in the Navy and he just wrote something specifically about that, recommending how they should improve it. So these are all things that are out there and figuring out. But again, just like that other report was on topic or program issues, here it's on cost savings and duplication of effort. Take a minute, read it. I'm definitely going to read it and try to put more information out. But for whatever business you're in, if you're selling to the federal government, you should be there. Last one I wanted to point out, the one that actually drove me to saying, hey, you know what, I should do a GAO video, is this one here on the high risk series as it relates to cybersecurity. I mean, this is not what you want to see in the federal government, right? Critical actions to address, they need to pursue critical actions to address major cybersecurity challenges. When you see something like that, you should be reading it, especially if you're in the professional services, IT services, or cybersecurity. And so I did a little bit yesterday about this particular graph and how you can quickly see the 10 associated critical actions. But as you go down, I can't do this in short videos. It's what people pay me to do, is to analyze this document and then bring it back. And I don't mind sharing that, but I don't want to do it in this video because it's just a little tough. But looking at some of these past related cybersecurity major challenges, for example, on page 84, helps you see a trend. And the reason they've got it there is because it's how the current challenges relate to the ones they identified in the past. And so that's a huge deal. Here you can look at page 10 through 84 and see a lot. And then obviously you can jump to the tables. This is just, quick stuff that's in there. One of the things that caught my eye was figure 7 here, where they talk about, let me just click on it, but it's 5G and how you can see this improvement that's out there, right? This major jump of 10 megabits per second to 100 megabits per second. That's a huge performance increase. But what they're saying is, while it's potentially going to improve the performance, they're going to introduce a lot of cybersecurity challenges. And if you looked at posts that I did on LinkedIn recently, a week or two ago, I did a whole series of 5G posts. And so if you take a look at that, you tie it back to where do they expect 5G to start being used? And I'll give you an example, right? This is areas that you can help your customer with if you're in that, again, professional services, IT, or mobile area. But in the White House, right? When they're traveling around, everybody's got a cell phone. They're going to be having these conversations about where do we, when do we head to 5G, 4G, whatever. And I don't want to act like a technology expert there, but the point is getting ahead, helping them understand the risks and introduce risk mitigation along with acquisition planning for whatever they're doing in the future will put you in that trusted advisor role. And that comes from reading documents like this one here, where GAO is pointing out the high risks that they're communicating. These documents are being absorbed by the leaders within each one of the agencies. And so, you should be aware of that. Anyways, go check out GAO.gov. Let me know that you checked it out. I think it's a very valuable site for your research when you're doing capture and business development. If you found this content valuable, others will too. Please give it a thumbs up so they can find it. If you'd like to connect with me personally, definitely do so on LinkedIn. I kind of live and breathe there. And then we often do free training webinars and interview federal buyers. Sign up for the GovCon Chamber's email list to be notified about these opportunities and others at here, www.govconchamber.com. And then finally, please consider becoming a sustaining member of the GovCon Chamber of Commerce. Help us keep bringing you great content like this for $1 a day. I'm Neil McDonnell, wishing you great success.